Hello, and here are my thoughts on the Arsenal vs Man City game. Well, for the goalkeeper, Czech made some good saves, but he should work on his distribution and decision making. There are some nerve-wracking moments, but luckily nothing bad happened. And defensive line, Hector Bellerin had a chance in the first half. He should have passed and maybe that would be a goal, but his positioning has improved, and he hasn't made any massive mistakes in crucial moments. He handled Sterling quite well, to be honest, but he could have done better with handling Mandy. Mustafi. Well, Mustafi had a few good tackles and clearance. He challenged Aguero quite well, but his chemistry with Socrates is something that has to be worked on. Socrates gave away a free kick for sure, but he will be a reliable centre-back with time, hopefully. And the left-back Maitland-Niles. I think the situation is just unfortunate. He was forced to play as a left-back, which he was not familiar with. And in that situation, even any experienced left-back would find it difficult, and he was injured at last. I just hope he could recover soon, and we have to sort out the left-back crisis as soon as possible. Well, Guendouzi, he was an interesting point to talk about because he has some really good contribution, but he has really made some costly mistake. He was everywhere, very involved. I really like his attitude. I really like the way he passed forward, but he really lacks experience. And he caused us the first goal, to be honest. It was not his best performance, but he looks promising and hope that in the future he will be a star. And the next one is Granit Xhaka, and well, I just hope he won't perform like this in the next games. And on to the next one, Mesut Ozil. Well, Ozil isn't suitable for this kind of game, and to be honest, I don't think he should be starting. On the positive side, defensively he has been more involved and he has given more effort. But creatively, he couldn't help create many chances and he really lacks pace. He could have passed much better in several occasions. Aaron Ramsey played in a very advanced role. He was clearly the focal point of Arsenal's high press. He was very involved, helped us won the ball back, but he couldn't help much with creating chances, and what he tried didn't always come off. On to Mkhitaryan, his position supposedly will provide width, but his role was blurred and often he seems confused at times. He lacked pace and he lost possessions at crucial times. And Aubameyang, this simply wasn't his best game, and he was fast but not fast enough than the Man City players. Well, he always needs support from the back, which he did not receive in this game, and we just hope that he could be back at his best self. And on to the substitutions. Well, Steven was brought on unexpectedly, but he performed much better than my expectations. He seems solid and his aggressive nature is what we needed in the team. Lacazette. Well, Lacazette should never be on the bench in my opinion. He should have started up front. He works well with the team and his performance reminds me of that of the Chelsea game. And Torreira played well and he has a couple of nice and clean passes. Although they were offside, his performance actually looked promising. On to the tactics. Man City is especially good at dominating the game with keeping possession and their offensive play, in which case we should have chosen to counter-attack instead of winning the possession back because our players' level aren't as high as Man City's. However, we have used a 4-2-3-1 formation, which isn't good enough for counter-attacks. Our two attacking midfielders, Mkhitaryan and Ozil, lacked pace and we have only one striker up front. This triangle combination isn't good enough for counter-attack because it lacks pace. While we are counter-attacking, our pace decreases as the ball reaches to Ozil. And by the time we can have any chances, Man City's defensive line is already solid and back in their half. since we had such a low counter-attack efficiency and we couldn't win the possession back, the players had to run all around, try to win the ball back, try to counter-attack, and their stamina started to drop, which affects their physical state and work rate. Therefore, instead, we should have used an inverted triangle with Lacazette and Aubameyang both up front and Mkhitaryan or Ozil at behind, acting as the attacking midfielder. After Lacazette was subbed on in the second half, we could see an immediate change. We were able to do counter-attacks, but very unfortunately, at that time, in the second half, we didn't have as much chances as we have had on the first half. Because in the second half, Man City was taking the lead, and they did not have to dominate the game by keep attacking, offensive play, pressing high, or keeping possession, and therefore our chances of counter-attacking severely decreased. We could have another option by the time, which is we being the offensive and attacking side. Ozil could be the playmaker at this time, but he was already tired as he had started for the game and had played full match, and therefore he couldn't have a good performance like we expected. He was disappointing for sure, but this was because we didn't use him in the correct timing. Another thing is, after the 62nd minute, we pressed high, which led Man City to pass the ball easily into our half. This gave more chances for them. Moreover, we played out from the back, but there were problems with Czech's distribution. I think we all remember that almost own goal. And our defenders aren't really that good with using the ball. When Man City players press high, we didn't really have the time to use the ball quickly, and this caused us to give the ball away. And when we press high, we still made a lot of mistakes with the passing. We need an immediate solution to this issue. At the start of the first half, when we played out from the back, there were players on the backfield as well as there are players on their side. However, obviously, a linkage between the back and the front is deprived of. Torreira would be a solution for it as he is able to do it, but he was subbed on too late. Again, when he came in, he made an immediate change. He had a few good passes and we really had much more chances when he was in the game. Another thing is, there were still cons for us for use that inverted triangle combination, as it will require left back and right back to help with the attacks, but the assisting ability or the attacking ability of our left back and right back aren't good enough, especially when we now have a left back crisis. Monreal, Seared, and Maitland-Niles are all injured, and we have to figure out who will be the left back for the coming weeks when they are not fit enough. Would it be Monreal when he's still not fit? Or would it be Steven because he looked quite bright? Or would it be Danny Welbeck? Who knows? Anyway, we hope that the injured players could get well soon, and we're looking forward to a great season ahead.